welcome back to the U Up Podcast. I'm Jordana Abraham.
And I am Jared Freed. It's so good to be back here with you, Jordana. How are you? What's going on? We got a Sunday special. We love a Sunday special. We have two really good emails here. Like, should we jump right in?
Should we?
I mean, should we? Do you have anything to bring up? Anything to
that we haven't already discussed?
That we haven't discussed? What's the date of this? This is August 18th. That means I am leaving Sacktown, Sacramento. Thank you for coming. I'm going to be in Cleveland. If you're in the Cleveland area, I'm there. And then I'm doing a show in Toronto last second.
Ooh, that's fun.
It's like I think it's a Jewish event. So
nice.
I'll be in Toronto on the 27th. So if you're in that area, it will be the same show that I did at the last Toronto show. Because it's so recent. Maybe I'll try and put in some new here and there.
August 18th, they start to get a little antsy.
Who? The people?
Me.
You?
Me. Because summer is like winding down.
It's kind of feels like the party that like should have ended a week ago. Like like summer. There's a point in the summer where you go, come on, fall.
Yeah, but then once you're like, it's cold, you're like, I should have appreciated.
Right. I should have done one more beach weekend. I should have done one more pool.
Yeah.
And right now we're sitting here in like a soupy, dark time. It's like rainy, but
Bad
like
day,
I want, maybe I'll do something. Maybe I'll go to the, Lake Erie, Cleveland, the Mistake by the Lake.
Want to come back to Fra?
Oh, let's go back to Fra.
I'm going back to Fra.
Oh, you're going?
Yeah, end of August.
I knew this actually. You're going back to Fra.
Going back.
You're going on like a couples trip, right?
Couples trip for the first few days, and then we're doing our own thing.
Where are you going?
I'm going to Saint-Tropez. I'm going to Antibes. I'm going to Cap Ferrat / Monte Carlo.
Ooh.
Couple nights.
Okay.
And then I'm going to Paris.
Paris.
Have
you been to Paris before?
I haven't been to Paris since I was abroad, and I was far too broke to enjoy Paris.
Right.
And like I remember even at like 20 years old when I was there, being like, I got to come back here when I have money and a boyfriend. I was like,
two things can make this place great.
Yeah, I was like, this is not the city for like a poor single person. It's not like a fun going out city, I don't think.
Right. I can understand that. There's they say Paris romantic.
Yeah.
All that good stuff. Expensive.
Or it was when I was 20.
I guess there are some people that go to Paris and they're like, there is a high-end bar scene there.
Yeah.
I think
so.
I would never go to Paris. I don't think I would ever.
Really?
I
Maybe
need
with
a
the
wife
right
to
woman.
Force me.
Yeah.
That's the
what
only
I'm
way
doing with. It's pretty
what,
low on Mike's list. He's
right.
Like I had to burn through a lot of other places to get him to go.
Yes.
But maybe he'll like
I would go to Paris.
Here's the thing. I don't think he's gonna like it that much, but I haven't said that to him because I want to go.
I have no. Listen, if I'm helping you, give you the.
Not as much blue Hawaii.
Not a lot of candy
gelato there.
You should find. You'll find. I think you could find some Parisian candies.
I think the French will not approve of.
They got Mountain Dew there.
Probably.
They got. I have no need for Paris.
You'll go to Paris with the right lady.
Yeah, I'll go. I think the only
it's
time
very romanticized. That's what I'm
very.
like. In my head, I'm like picturing like riding a bike with a baguette in my basket.
And he's imagining being miserable on that bike. Yeah.
Yeah. In the French countryside.
Paris, I would go. I think that's a winter trip for me.
I could see that.
That's
too.
the only.
Yeah.
That's the one.
That sounds like a nice Christmas trip.
Right.
Like,
if I was a peak enjoyment for like a dude who like has to go, I'm like, all right, let's get you in the the fuzzy ear warmers.
Yeah.
And
I could see it being nice that time of year also.
Yeah. It feels like the right time.
Well, I'm going the end of August.
Well, good luck.
So when all the restaurants are closed.
Right.
Yeah.
So that'll be fun. That's great. A nice end of the summer trip.
Yeah.
I'll be in the Paris of America, Cleveland.
Wow. Also romantic.
Very romantic. No, I don't have.
You'll also be riding
trip.
a bicycle with a baguette.
That's me.
What do they eat in Cleveland?
Like fried everything. I don't know.
Okay. You'll be You'll be biking around Cleveland with a mozzarella stick in your basket.
Exactly. So do we want to get into it?
Let's
get into it.
Our last episode was like 6 hours long.
Yeah,
so.
This one, but these emails are like very good. I gotta say,
They are.
I actually
these emails fuck, as they say.
Yeah, they fuck. They go hard. They hit.
All right, let's do it.
Send in yours, uup@betches.com, uup@betches.com. And, all that stuff. Also, since this is a let's get right into it episode, go comment on Apple Podcasts and and if you're on YouTube, throw a like, share. We want you to share the show.
Come on, guys.
Share the show.
Send it to your desperate friend.
Share. Yeah. You got a loser friend.
Who could use some help.
Right. I'm the loser friend. Usually. I'm the guy.
Send Jared his own episode.
Send me the episode.
All right. Let's jump right in.
Let's jump right in.
Read it, our first email?
Go for it.
All right.
Couples court.
Dear we have our gavels. We got to order
the gavels.
Those. All right. Dear and our robes. Dear J&J, my fiance and I have a couples court for you to solve. We are happily engaged but have a disagreement from early in the relationship that we never agreed upon.
So we are going to help this couple get married with a clean slate. Mm-hmm. Because this is something they've argued about their whole couple.
You can't be bringing this into the marriage.
It's over. After you two listen to this together, it's over.
Yes,
it's
and our
over.
word is law.
That is it. I won't allow this to be the rift in this relationship.
Yes, and we'll give you our blessing after we
absolutely, because I think this is a mountain that is able to be climbed.
Totally. I'm 34, male. And another male listener, love it.
Love it.
And she is 28, female, and we've been in
We are the place for men to write into, I think. Because I think...
We'll be fair to you.
Right.
Unlike other places.
There's a lot of places that be like, fuck this dude.
Yes.
Is that how they talk? On the
Pretty much. She was visiting her friends in another city that happened to be where her 2-year on-again, off-again situationship now lived. While on the trip, she texted a pic of her and the friends saying they approved of me while they were out one night and that they were excited to meet me. She told me after we had been dating for a while that she also had plans on this trip to meet up with said situationship. But while on her way to meet, changed her mind and instead finally cut things off. While on the way.
That's right.
Interesting. Very rom-com.
Turn the car around.
I'm in love.
Throws her beret to the air.
Yes.
Chomps on her baguette. Heads back to the Hilton.
Exactly. Changed her mind and said finally cut things off. The next weekend after an event where someone kept calling me her boyfriend, I asked her to be official and she said yes. She thinks she did nothing wrong because we hadn't discussed exclusivity, and I think she's wrong because talking about friend approval while having secret plans to meet up with someone else is emotionally misleading. Help us out. Am I being overly sensitive Monday morning quarterback, or is this as annoying as I think it is? Signed, not good for our story page. Love the sign off.
I love the sign off. I love the story.
Yes.
I think it's like the most real dating scenario that exists. This is 2024. This is the uncomfortable honesty that you have to have in this day and age. You guys are engaged. I think you guys, I'm happy for you. Congratulations. I'm actually excited by this email because it is a hilarious thing that she thought was going to be praised that did not get praised.
Right. She thought she was like doing something romantic, and he was like, not so fast.
Not right.
Yes.
And I told that Uber driver, turn around. I have found the one, and my friends like him, and I like him, and I was broken of the spell of this dickmatized I was under by my situationship. That's how she felt.
Yeah.
She thought, wow, what a, like, again, 2-year on again, off again situationship as he wrote it. So that means she's writing it too. So that is to get off of the drug of this cock that she's been sucking for 2 years to then end up with you.
Yeah, you got her off the sauce.
Right. She was like, this.
I think this is romantic.
I think every woman would.
I think it is.
But I think specifically every woman would see this as like, this is the story. This is the rom-com.
Yeah.
This is
what got me out of my toxic thing.
Right. I'm now with the right guy, and after years of sucking that other guy's dick.
I'm sure she's not phrasing it like
that.
And what does he see it as?
To him, see, I think for men, generally, for me, we really don't want to be the center of the movie. Like, I think this idea that, like, Because again, like every breakup, I'm saying for me, like
Okay.
every breakup has been like, please forget about me. Go get married. I'll be the, like get away. Go have fun. Have a great
I just
life.
want you to be happy.
I just want you to be happy, please. I'm
stay
a
away from
loser.
me.
You don't want anything to do with me. Look at my apartment. I live like shit. And I think a lot of women in their dating life, there's a lot of, and I'm dealing with this tragic tale of a 2-year man I can't get
Oh yeah.
off of, and then finally it just made sense to me, and I was
found
saved.
the one who got me out of the cycle. Yeah.
And I'm happy now.
I found a real stable guy.
Right, and no guy wants to be known as the stable guy. Right, this guy that wrote in, he's fucking
Found a guy who treated me right.
Joe Normal. He doesn't want to be Joe
What, the
Normal.
guy wants to be the other guy? He wants
He
to be
doesn't want to be.
situationship
He doesn't
guy?
want to be anybody. He doesn't want to be. He doesn't want this. What he's been dressed.
He doesn't want to romanticize.
In the romanticized story, he is just Jeff. Finally,
Yeah.
I'm done with sucking that other guy's dick.
Yeah.
Now I'm with this guy. Yeah, he doesn't want to hear
the
that.
hero.
I know he's the hero, but like it's not an he's the one that
The guy wants to be the asshole in the story?
No, I don't even know. I just
He
I
wants to-
understand why he's
the
sensitive
guy
to it.
No guy wants to. You're saying no guy wants to be Aiden. He wants to be Mr. Big,
Mr. Big
or
is
more Mr. Big than Aiden.
Listen, Mr. Big, the way that guy lived life, I'm taking Mr. Big every
What?
rich,
No,
handsome,
he's the villain.
womanizer. Going,
the villain.
He just looks at a woman he's dating. He's like, I'm going to Paris. Forget about me.
That's the villain.
Yeah, wow.
We hate him, but we love him.
Right. This guy's
so you'd
fucking every
rather
woman in
be him.
Manhattan.
But you don't want to be either. But you'd rather.
I don't want to
be
be
him.
either, but you want to be. This is all to say, I think
She didn't
she's
do
right.
anything wrong. Yeah.
She did nothing wrong.
No.
This is all to say, he needs to shut the fuck up.
But you wouldn't want to hear this as a guy. You're saying.
I don't want to hear this hero's tale that she's telling everyone isn't really that fun for him to be just listening to. She's probably
Interesting.
telling the
That's
story
good to
so
know, 'cause
proudly.
because I would think it would be like flattering to the man.
I don't know if it's flattering, but it's like
I feel like you're describing it like it's emasculating.
I don't think it's emasculate. There's
Is it-
somewhere in between.
Here's the worst version of what I'm hearing that you're saying,
Sure.
that I'm interpreting it as, is like, this guy thinks of himself as like the chump who like was with the girl that the other guy didn't want to date.
There's an element of that.
Is that
Yeah, there's like, oh, finally I found Mr. Stability.
the guy who settled for me?
Right. Right. And it's like, I think this guy writing in, like, he has a point where it's like, you sent me a picture about how excited you are, but even still you got in the car?
I mean, how many times do men do that, though?
I'm not saying she's not wrong,
right.
but she's in the margins of, that's why I like this email, because it's like, it is so, everything lives in the margins. The idea that the story of like, and we met and I'm in love, I don't care who knows it. Like, that's not real to me. This is real. I'm dating, we've been on 5 dates, it's been a month. I like this guy, he's pretty cool. I went to visit my friends. I showed them a picture. I was talking about him. They are all pumping me up. They're like, this is the guy. And I wasn't really sure, but I needed that little nudge. And I sent them a picture. I showed them all a picture. They're like, he's cute. Oh my God. I can see exactly what happened here.
Yeah.
And then that little nudge. And then she goes to get in the car to meet the situationship. And she's like,
what am I doing?
what am I doing?
I'm about to be 26. I've got to get my shit together.
I'm going to die tomorrow.
I can't keep dating sleeping with this guy who's never going to date me.
Right.
I've got to buckle down.
I got to buckle down with Jeff. I just don't think it's as grand a compliment as maybe she's telling it as. And that's why he's a little sensitive to it, because it's like, I don't need to hear that you had like 2 years of like some guy that treated you like a dick, but his penis was so great. Do you know? That's kind of
when
what
you put it like that, I kind of get it. And here's the thing: I'm saying it's not a big deal, but if I'm being honest, like when I found out after Mike and I were dating that he hooked up with someone on a bachelor party when we had been on 5 or 6 dates,
right?
And I was furious. So
you were furious.
Yes, at the time. Now I don't care, but like at the time, I think I was, and part of that was being a little insecure,
right?
And
but he didn't say. What if he was like, the minute I hooked up on that bachelor party, that's what made me realize you were the one.
Oh, I'd like that.
That's how
Well,
I
that's
would have
the
told
other-
the story.
Yeah.
That's how she's
not what
telling.
he said.
No. Really, fuck. He should have came to me. I would have told him how to tell the story.
Right. Well, a man wouldn't. I don't think he's computing that. That's like the romantic.
Right.
My romanticize. That would be the only way that I would eat that up.
Well, he'd have to be sure that you guys were gonna get married. You know, like you
Right.
really have
Which
to
at the
like live
time,
out that time,
he wasn't,
that tale, right?
Which is why I was insecure.
right.
Right.
So, right, like they're saying this as they're engaged.
Right.
You know, so
Well, it's funny though. I think it would be different if it was like a man or a woman doing this.
listen, the way she operated wasn't wrong. I don't even think if she fucked that guy, it would have been wrong. Like,
yeah, that's what I'm
she
saying.
could have woken up from
I don't think
fucking
it was
him.
wrong that Mike hooked up with someone.
Right.
but, like,
I think in the couple's court, I rule in her favor of her.
yes. Did
You
nothing
you
wrong.
as
I
well
agree,
did nothing
yes.
wrong. Court adjourned. You need to let this go. I think as when the judges give like a sidebar,
Mhm.
like, but I will advise.
Yes.
I will advise her that this story isn't as fun for him to hear as you may think it is to tell.
And that's, I think, a good thing to know for all women who are telling this story, that guys might not be as flattered by it as we think they are.
This is every My Story page. Oh, I was a queen, and finally I found this hunchback that I was able to fix up. And, it's just like...
well, it's like we're the star. of
yes, which is okay, and I get it. But I think, to me also, like, I can understand where she's like, the friends are like that.
Yeah,
like,
how that would have swayed her.
The excitement
Yeah.
of the friends is like such a great thing to hear.
Right, there's momentum behind this guy.
Right.
People are like, you know what I mean? He's
Cheering
up
for
in the
him.
polls.
Right?
Yeah.
Then you come back, you go to a party. Is this your girlfriend? Are we?
Yeah. To me, this is like the most magical way it happens.
Right. I listen, I can see how it's seen that way.
Mhm.
But
to
this
know.
is
Yeah.
this is an interesting.
But yeah, you're wrong.
Yeah, you're
so
wrong.
You feel free. Now you can get married, put this all behind you.
Right.
You're the one who's wrong.
Get over it, bub.
Do it.
Coming up next, we have a deal reveal. We haven't done one in a while. We're going to take a listener's text and translate them. We are the Rosetta Stone of texting.
We're
gonna
here to
tell
break
you
it
right
down
now.
for you.
This is a good one. J&J, been a fan since day one. Appreciate all you do. I'll get right into it. Went on a date with a girl from Hinge.
Another man, I
Another
love it.
dude. After taking, well, I guess it could be a woman. We don't really have.
I guess it could be. Yeah. Another
Yeah.
another person
bad.
dating a woman.
Yeah, another. When I went on a date with a girl from Hinge after talking for a few days, the date was kind of planned last minute. We ended up being a later Saturday night date. She came to my place at about 10 p.m. We went to a local hotel bar from there. From there, we had a fun night of bar hopping and really hit it off well. The night ended with my walking her to her car and a sidewalk makeout.
Hot.
And an agreement that we would like to do this again. The next day, I asked if she'd like to get together again sometime in the following week. And that led to a conversation, screenshots on the next slide, that resulted in things pretty much ending before they started. For a little more background, she lives about 45 minutes from me, has a 1-hour commute to her job in healthcare, and has 2 dogs and 2 cats that are relatively high maintenance from what I've gathered.
All right. So I'll
Okay.
be
The minute you get into, I got 2
High
dogs, 2
maintenance,
cats, I
yeah.
got a lot to do, that's how you know it ended. Okay.
all right. I'll be her. You be him.
Okay. We think is him, but
Or sorry, I'll be her.
I'll be they, them.
You'll be them.
Okay.
Hey, sorry, I've been napping all day. Haha.
Hot start.
All day. I've been napping all. Is this person depressed?
Hey. So
I've been napping for 11
For
a.m.
hours. Just an addict. That's what Sundays are for. Look at Peter Positivity coming in hot. Do your animals nap with you? Oh, this guy ain't gonna get blown at all.
This is at 4:50 p.m.
What is this? The guy who wrote in last? Jeff?
All right, so she
All
doesn't
right,
answer.
So she doesn't answer. Do you want to try and go out again sometime this week? I'm out of town Saturday to Tuesday.
They do. One of my cats was glued to me all day, and it was kind of cute. I can't during the week because of my hours and my dogs. Sad face. Usually I could on Mondays, but I'm working the next 3.
Haha, that is cute. And okay, we could try to do something dog friendly after work if you're interested in that. But if not, no worries.
Again, just because of my hours, I don't know if that's feasible, teary face. I get home at 6, sometimes a little later, and I wake up at 4:30 every morning. We could the weekend after you come back.
Yeah, I understand. I guess from my perspective, I'm flexible and would be happy to try and accommodate your schedule and limitations to make something during the week work. If all of that being said, you still only want to plan for weekends, that's your prerogative, and I respect it. But in that case, I just don't think we're going to be a match.
Yeah, I basically do 13-hour days by the time I get home, so doing things after work is just too exhausting, especially this month working extra shifts. I'm cool with that. Thumbs up emoji. Should give him a thumbs up emoji.
From the face emojis to the hand emoji, you're done.
We're getting further away from the mouth.
Right. Again, I understand and appreciate the honesty. It was really nice meeting you, and if anything ever changes, I would love to hear from you. But if not, good luck out there.
I mean, if you want to be friends, I'm cool with that. You seem like a lot of fun, and if you ever want to go to a show or something, I'd be down. If not, that's cool too. Haha.
Respectfully, I'm not really looking for friends right now. I think you're very fun and smart and special, and I am very attracted to you for those reasons and more. That said, he does a lot of that said. That said, trying to be friends, I know would just kind of bum me out and probably throw me off of what I'm trying to do, which is to date intentionally.
I'm like, you.
Well, she wrote back with another thumbs up.
Yeah, she writes back, understandable.
Thumbs up. Okay, so my question is this. Was she ever really interested in me romantically, and is she really just too busy? Or was this her looking for new friends? From my point of view, we had discussed going to concerts together. We enjoy the same relatively niche music, and she mentioned she wanted to meet more people to go out with. And in her text, she says she would like to be friends and go to shows together, something I was not really interested in. In hindsight, it kind of felt like she was not looking to make something work any further than platonically, as I was more than happy to try to make something happen during the week, as my weekends are all filled up for the next several weeks. Not to mention, I don't love weekend dates with new people generally. Would love to hear what you think. Thanks again for the advice and laughs. Thank you for writing in. What do you think?
I think she was kind of on the fence.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't like him enough to like not be tired the next morning for work.
Mm-hmm.
She likes him on her own terms. She likes him enough to go out with him when she feels like going out.
Yeah, I kind of got the same vibe, like to Tough Love, this emailer, who like, I appreciate you writing in, but I think you're looking to, you're looking for something to happen relatively quickly. Like you're looking for like
he wants it more than she does,
right? And his text, the one long one, when she it sounded like someone who like he wants an answer like, was she ever really interested in me? I think she was interested in having a good time with you. You had a street makeout.
Yeah.
It was a fun date. You went from bar to bar. It sounds like not being friends, being lovers is still in the cards. It didn't sound like someone who was completely off put by you. It also sounded like someone who's doing their own thing.
Right.
And lives an hour away, has 2 cats and a dog, and is like, yeah, if we can make it work, I'll make it work. And I would still like,
she's not head over heels in love with you, where
Right.
she's willing to go. I mean, like we talked about this in a different episode with the Taylor Swift tickets.
Right.
It's like she's a fan. She's not buying the tickets for $5,000. She's
Right.
gonna buy them for what works for her.
Well, that's the you're bringing up the best point of like, this is mathematical to her.
Mm-hmm.
I like him, not enough to switch around my life. It'd be
Right.
someone fun to go to concerts with. I could see it moving that way along, down the line. I think she was like open to down the line, but you made it very clear you are not open to
casually seeing where this can go.
Right. And I think she was like, okay, like, and then she brought up the friends thing. I don't think that was an offer of friends to me from this text and based on the context of with which you met. I think that was her being like, I'm just letting you know, like, this is going to be like pretty calm, cool, and casual with me. And like, I think the friends thing, like, it sucks because you're like, well, if we're going to go to a concert, I'm not going to make out. Like,
Right.
You're kind of like, I don't want to go to a concert with someone that I feel like turned me down. That's where this friends thing is kind of like,
Right. But she didn't
tough.
even really turn him down. She just said, like, I'm not willing to compromise.
right.
I like you enough to go out with you when I feel like going out with you, and I don't like going out during the week.
Right. So it's like, I think his ego was bruised that like she wasn't in love with him after one date.
Right. Which I
And-
get. I mean, being like,
Right.
kind of like, well, if she wanted to, she would. Because
Right.
that's sort of his like reverse of that situation. But like, yeah, she wanted to she wanted to up until a certain point, and then the tickets were too expensive. So she was like, I don't care enough to be tired.
This is one of those, like, to kind of help his ego a little bit. This feels like more of a timing thing than anything else. Like, and he's pushing for date 2, date 3. And he's like, I will not go out on weekends with someone I don't know. And it's like,
you do know her, though. That's the other part that was kind of annoying that he said that. It's like, you made out.
Right.
You went out already. Like, you do know her.
Right.
You can't waste a weekend night with someone that you're...
She does seem weekend worthy based on the first date. I agree.
That's what I'm saying. If you're into her enough, why not just wait for the weekend?
Right. He wants things very specifically.
Yeah. And I think it would turn me off a little bit how, like, this whole speech she's giving me when I'm like, I really just don't like going out during the week.
You mean to tell me it's a turnoff to hear a text that starts with, I guess from my perspective?
After a first date?
After a first
a little
date.
bit.
Right. This is supposed to be fun. This is supposed to be two people getting to know each other. Like, you know, the hour away doesn't seem so long when you're like, oh, we've had like 2 really fun days. I think you got ahead of yourself.
Yeah. I think she's like, I don't really like feel anything strongly enough to be like, we got to make this happen ASAP.
Right. And you were like, you got a little excited, which I'm in favor of excitement.
Mm-hmm.
But I think when you're excited and the other person's like, we'll see. And then you go, well, I need these 7 things accounted for. Right. Then they go,
I could push someone to the other side.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
So I think she was like willing to lose you. And that has nothing to do with like, was she actually here? Like it's always tough when it's like, what's the excuse? Like, there's no excuse. It's
especially after one date. It's
right.
like she had a good time, not good enough of a time to be like, I'm going to rearrange my whole thing that I like doing.
Right. This is the thing with planning is like when you hear someone's like, your plan is more important to you. This is more important to you than it is to them. They kind of back away, you know, and this is to the point what I was talking about with Dr. Naomi with the distance and someone saying that they live in New York when then they actually don't, or like finding out after you've matched that like you're like redoing the math on this.
Right.
You know, when so I, you know, like if someone said to me, like, I want to go out on Wednesday night, I'd be like, Wednesday doesn't work. Can we do Thursday? And they're like, well, I'd have to take the train in on Thursday. And there's not a lot of trains back. And then I'd be like,
but if someone was really into you, they wouldn't say that. That's what I'm saying. They would be like, I'll be there.
Sure.
I'll figure it out.
Right. And then, but if they gave me all that, the scheduling stuff, I go, like, there's a piece of me that would go, fuck it.
Well, that's why you've got to almost make it look easy, though.
Right.
If you're going to do that, you kind of have to like not let them see how the meat is made.
Right. And he kind of let her know how the meat was made.
Right.
He's like, I'm looking for structured, intentional dates. And she was like, I'm looking to see what this is.
Right. Yeah. I don't want to go into the back of the kitchen and see all the work that goes into this. Right. I want it to just be come up on my plate.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's how I get to know people.
Right. And I think it would be different if he had this conversation with her a couple months in. I really don't want, like, I'd rather see you during the week. There's a compromise there. She's like, I don't know you well enough to like give up my weekday routine for you.
That's a good point to keep an eye. Do you know someone enough to compromise with them?
Exactly. Are you invested enough?
Right. And that's why when people are so disposable, like, oh, I get people on the dating apps, hey, let's forget the app and let's just go out. Like, were they right? I don't like chit chat. Well, I fucking do.
Right. Like, I don't know you anything.
Right. I don't owe you anything.
Right.
So why, make a plan and I'm in? Well, why do I owe you? Right. We haven't even like chit chatted. I don't know. Yeah. This is a good thing to remember. Mm-hmm. Compromises for couples. So
yeah, I mean that's a very compromises for couples. That's a good title.
Good merch. Good title. Love it. We did it. We solved dating again.
We did it. We'll be back on Wednesday. Bye.
Boom.
The U Up podcast is produced by Belle Roman and Candice Maniga. Edited by Belle Roman. Social media by Candice Maniga. Guest booking by Ali Friedlander. VP of podcast is Chris Allen. And be sure to follow You Up at u.up.podcast.